In this video, we're going to be delving into MIDI functionality to see what we can actually do with Suno Studio. Hey everyone, this is Barry from Music Tech Info. Hope you're doing well today. So I don't know why, but my camera is zoomed in so much, I can't even show off my own merch. I mean, it's just typical, isn't it? It's late at night, and I've been going through the comments of the last video, and I was like, somebody put in a comment on there saying MIDI is now working. So I thought I'm going to have to jump on this and just see. Because I've had that question so many times from music producers and the like. So I thought I'd try and do a dedicated video for this in the hope that it's going to work. Now what you will notice at the top of the screen, it's saying beta version 1.0.0. So that's the current version that we are currently working from. Amazing response to my last video. Thank you so much, and to the early access video that I did a few weeks ago now. It's just great to have so much love for this Suno. I think it's amazing what it can do. I really do. Obviously, there's a huge subject around AI music at the moment, but I do delve into that in other videos. And for people that comment saying, aren't you going to feature this and aren't you going to feature that? What I would say is watch to the end of the video, because like somebody suggested, are you going to record something? And I'm like, I did. I recorded my vocal. So whatever. So yeah, as I say, we're going to look into this new beta version, and the fact it says beta means beta, right? It can be quite buggy. This is the first official version 1. Okay, it's only going to get better from here. This is the worst it currently is, so that's the way to think about it. And patience is a virtue. It's something that I've had to learn myself as well. So I'm just going to go to the 3 dots, which I call an ellipse button, and I'm going to go to new project. I'm going to rename the project, and I'm just going to call it MIDI project, because there's quite a few thoughts about MIDI right now. Number 1 is, can we input as MIDI? That's the first thing. And number 2 is, can we export MIDI? Now the feature was there in my last video, but it wasn't working. So we'll see if it works in this video. So I'm trying various things. I've got a MIDI file right on my desktop, and I've just literally tried to drag it on to see if it'll work, and it's not working. So I can just show you this at the moment. So I've got this, I'm just going to drag it into there. Doesn't work. If I go to upload audio and I select that, it does. No, that didn't work either. Let me try it again. A little respect.mid, which is a MIDI file. Not working. Okay. So the other way to try is to go into upload on here in window number 1, and it's grayed out. So it's not letting you put it in here. Let me try and drag it to the workspace and see if that makes any difference. We just need to try and get this MIDI file to trigger. And that's just re-downloaded it without putting it on here. So unfortunately, we do not have MIDI input yet, okay? But food for thought for the future, maybe that will happen in the future. So let me go back to Open Project now. And I'm gonna go back to Jack version 1. And I'm going to write, well, first of all, I'm going to clean this screen real estate up a little bit. So I'm going to press 1 to hide the first panel and 2 for the second. So I'm really interested in these strings here. Let's have a quick listen. That's funny. It reminded me of Madonna, one of her songs. So I'm going to right click on this, and we've got get MIDI. It's going to cost 10 credits. So I'm going to click that. Just give it a moment. Oh my God, it's worked. It has worked. Interesting. So I'm going to go to it now. So it's in my downloads folder. It's trying to open GarageBand up. And I'm just looking at GarageBand. And I'm just going to check it on here. No, that's a little respect. So if I go to open, that's really tickled me tonight. That's really tickled me. Okay, allow. Yeah, that's a little respect by Erasure. Where's my file gone? Okay. It was called Jack. Okay, it was hiding, right? So jack is on here. There we go. So strings. Missed one note. Okay, interesting. It's not 100%, but that makes sense. Yeah, it's because it does change on the second half. So that's not bad. Let me go back to GarageBand again. We just have a quick look. It's not bad. That's not bad at all. In fact, that's very good. That's done a really good job. And perhaps I should explain, the benefit of having MIDI export is because you can then export the programming and attach any instrument you want to that in a typical digital audio workstation. And that's why everybody's crying out for this, because when you're sampling via exporting with WAV files or MP3, the risk is that with Content ID that could be flagged up. Whereas if you're exporting MIDI, you won't have that problem because you can attach a different instrument with it. Now, legally, in terms of composition, then that could be a challenge, right, further down the line. But MIDI does kind of avoid a lot of legal potential issues further down the line, which is why I'm presuming that that's the case, but we'll see. Let me try and do a drum and just see if that works. Now, it does take a little bit of time, so you have to give it, you know, again, a bit of patience. So I'll just give that a moment. Okay, it's done it, and it just calls it the title of the track. It would be really helpful if it actually called it the stem, because if you're exporting like all of this, I'm presuming, yeah, you can multiple select, but can you multiple select different? I suppose you choose the region, would you? And that would highlight? No. So I think within each track you can multiple select. Oh yeah, you can. If you hold the shift key down and click on the first one and the last one, then it might work. I don't know how good that would be. Let's try it. See if it's absolute gobbledygook, then we'll know not to export MIDI all in one go. And yeah, now that's what I want to basically focus it on at the moment. So we'll just give that a moment to do. While we're waiting for that, I'm just going to load the drums into GarageBand. So I'm going open file. It is late, I am tired, but I really wanted to go through this. So it's version 1 is going to be the drums. Now that didn't work, so let me try and drag it on. There we go. Also import tempo information. Yeah, import tempo. Here we go. Look at this, drums. Let's have a listen to this now. Obviously that's a piano playing. I'm not a GarageBand user, but surely we can right click and click on drums. Okay, it's playing that, it's not playing that. Why isn't that changing? Guys, what's going on? Okay, it is the drums, that's the main thing. Oh, for goodness sake, I don't get that at all. Beyond me, GarageBand, beyond me. So let's see now. There we go. We've now got the rest of, well, the whole track. Let's see how this... There you go. Oh my God. So you've got the entire track if you multiple select on here. So just to show you again, you click on the first one, you hold the shift key down, you click on the last stem, but then that's not highlighting them all. So yeah, you might want to click on one and then go to the bottom and then right click at the very end, and then you can export. They still haven't added MIDI export to the export button. That might be a move in the future. So then what you do is you right click and then you click on get MIDI. Let's try it on one of my other projects now. So I'm going to go on to Cyberdeath, which is my early access one that I did. Just give it a moment to process. Wow, it's quite a big production, this one. I forgot how big this actually was. Just give it a second. Okay, so while it's doing that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this area, go all the way to the bottom and over here, click that. Then I'm going to right click on one of them and get MIDI. Interesting that individual stems are 10 credits and the whole track can be 10 credits. So a little tip there, if it works. So we'll give that a moment. I want to clear the GarageBand track. I normally use Cubase, but I appreciate that a lot of people use GarageBand. So if you're starting out, this might be a really good way to get into a digital audio workstation in terms of what's possible. So we're just going to give that a moment, go back on to Suno and just wait for that download to happen. While we're waiting, I do want to say it's such a shame that MIDI import isn't working for me. If you get it working, can you please let me know in the comments so I can check it out? And I just know a lot of people are going to be after this feature as well, so it'll be really good to know when that actually drops. If it drops, hopefully it will, hopefully soon. And if you're interested in what other stuff, other features Suno Studio could be bringing out in the future, make sure you look into my WAV tool videos. I think I did 3 of them. Basically, Suno acquired WAV tool, which was an online digital audio workstation, and they then developed this off the back of WAV tool, off the back of the knowledge of acquiring the WAV tool, I should say. So on that basis, there is the potential that there could be more features in the future. Certainly seems to be the case in terms of the beta version number, but you know, imagine how this is going to be further down the line when it's like version 2, version 3. Think how much advanced this could be, right? So it's always good to keep a tab on this stuff. Now this is taking a while, I think, because it's what it's doing. It's got to go through each single track in order. It's got to go through each stem, and it's got to process all of the notes, the timings, the tempo, effects it probably has to cover, as well as MIDI files. So this is why this is taking a long time. But you just, you know, grab a coffee or something, or hot cup of cocoa, and then hopefully it'll be done in a minute. Okay, so I just gave it another minute or so, and it seems to have downloaded something. So I'm going to go back to GarageBand, Cyberdeath, and we're going to literally drag it onto the beginning, import tempo. Yeah, look at this, guys. Oh my God. This is huge, because then what you can do is you can go into each one and you can start to drag the instruments across, right? Now, as I said before, I'm not a GarageBand user, unfortunately. Perhaps I need to start to be for this channel. But you can see you've got, look at all of these notes. You can attach any instrument now. You might be familiar with VSTs. So VSTs are almost like synthesizers, really. Applications, music applications in their own right, of keyboards, of drums, of whatever. And you can attach those VSTs as instruments to these as well, because you've got all of this data here, and this is what we need. This now, if I play it, it's all going to be piano, right? Done a really good job of that guitar, but I did notice that the synth strings were a little off with timing. Right, I had to stop there because the drums were in the way, weren't they? I haven't got any of these instruments downloaded, and that's obviously why it's a problem. Just see if I can drag. Can I drag? Oh, I really need to learn how to do this, don't I? Let me get rid of this track on here. Drag the drums onto that track there. And we might actually get somewhere now. Let's have a look. Let's have a listen to this, where this picks up. It sounds crap, right? Because there's no instruments attached to these, and you get decent digital audio workstation or VSTs or whatever, and you'll be amazed with how good this will sound, right? And then Yeah, you can export it as your own track. You can mess around with it, do what you like with it. I'm not gonna go down that path too much. Have to be careful what I say, guys. I don't want to get you guys into trouble. But yeah, as I said, this is one way for AI music not to be detected, because MIDI is a standard that's been used since what, 1980 something, maybe even earlier. Right, and the joy of this, do you know how long that would take to program? Right, if I had a MIDI keyboard, right, I could, if I was so good, right, I could record that, but I could tell you now it's going to take like 20 takes, and even then I'm going to have to double click and edit it. So what you've got down the bottom, if you double click, you've got a MIDI editor, right? So it means what you can do, you can move this note by clicking on it. You can move it to anywhere you want. So the higher you go, the higher the pitch, lower the pitch. And if you like that note too short, you can expand it, right? And this is how I make music. This is how I've made music for like 20 odd years, maybe even longer. So this is what I'm used to, but obviously I'm not used to GarageBand. But yeah, that's how you edit. And there's certain snap to grid tools that you can do with DAWs as well. And yeah. I'm smiling because this is huge for producers that love Suno. This is massive, right? Now, we don't have this capability in Suno right now. WavTool did. It did have that capability. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all unfolds, right? This is early days. This is version 1. This is the first AI generated DAW, where I said on my last video, you can get inspiration from Suno now, from any generation, and now you can export that as MIDI. I just think that is huge. But yeah, please let me know if you get MIDI input or any other features. I mean, we're all finding this out at the same time, right? But this is so exciting, the fact that you can now export full tracks in Suno on any generation that you've done. You put it into Suno Studio, and then you can export to MIDI. Incredible power there. And I think you guys are going to have a lot of fun with it. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye.